Hi, and welcome to part two of the Jack Links 500, which is actually not a 500-mile race. Therefore, it is a 47-lap shootout. We have the lead. We are literally just beginning lap 10, and Tyler Redneck is making his approach. I'll never stop getting tired of that nickname. I like referring to him as Tyler Redneck instead of Reddick. He's actually one of my favorite drivers too, but every time I see the Michael Jordan logo by his number on his back bumper, it looks more like the Mercedes-Benz logo. And I actually would be interested to see Mercedes joins NASCAR. I mean, you've already got the United States Postal Service using vehicles from Mercedes, which also led me to consider, what if U.S. law enforcement used cars from that company? I'm sure other countries do the same thing. Forgive me.
We lost the lead. Let's get it back.
Hey, Kozlowski did take the lead.
Still there.
Not bad. He's getting a bit of a push from Ryan Blaney. You know, if it weren't for Brad Kozlowski, Ryan probably never would have joined Penske. He was driving the 21 car for Wood Brothers, but sometime around 2017, Brad convinced Blaney to drive the number 12 car. And he's had that ever since.
Amazing lap, driver.
The other cars are still having a somewhat easy time staying with me, but I feel like we're building a bit of a gap right now. I see it's getting a bit shorter. We'll see what happens if other cars are able to bump draft with each other or not. Yeah, here comes Logano. Tires are still holding up okay though, and I see Alex Bowman's in third right now. Somebody's really losing ground to the rest of the field, though. I see a white dot literally just starting to negotiate turns 1 and 2, whereas me and almost everybody else are already on the backstretch.
One high.
Well, it looks like Logano finally got some help.
Stay focused. Here, 3 wide.
From Reddick of all people.
3 wide.
Never would have expected that.
We're out front, driver.
Although there actually was a time in 2024, Logano did help another Toyota driver. I saw him do some bump drafting with Christopher Bell. I don't remember if it was Vegas. I think Logano won. It could have either been him or Cindric. I really don't remember. I got to go back and see what happened. Oh, I just apologize for that. I guess that's what happens when you drink soda. I got Blackberry Dr. Pepper. My very last one, though, and I only have a few other sodas from 7-Up, so I am definitely going to have to buy some more drinks when this episode's over. Kyle's closing in. He's got second. I'm hoping that I got extra paint schemes for him. I'm sure I will if I go to the, what do you call it? The November pack with all the throwbacks. I'm sure there's at least one scheme for Kyle in there. If not, I'm sure I can get one of his Lucas Oil schemes in the December pack. There's not much DLC in this game, even though it has been around for... Has it really been that long? I think it came out in September.
Car high.
That means iRacing should have NASCAR 26 ready in a few months. But bear in mind, I am recording this on July 5th, so it's possible you could be seeing this in August or September, and NASCAR 26 could be coming out. So before you go in the comments and say, Sean, you're lying to us, please bear in mind, this is being recorded on July 5th. With that said, I hope you guys had a good 4th of July.
We got the lead.
I was...
One high.
What was that?
Yellow's
Oh,
out.
okay.
Pit road is open.
Everybody else is pitting, but, estimated fuel. Okay, you know what? Let's pit too. Tires should be okay for the rest of the race. We'll just do 1.5 cans then. I'm not worried about tires, so let's just keep them the way it is. Wedge can go up a tiny bit. The car is not damaged, so we don't need to do any repairs.
We're coming.
I really don't want to lose the lead, though.
Pace cars off.
Thank goodness.
You ready now? Go, go, go. Car high.
I mean, I was concerned that I would be losing positions since other people were pitting. But, I mean, I knew I was going to have to because I saw how much fuel I had, and eventually I'd have to go around and go in to refuel.
Stay low.
Well, let's see what we got now. 17 laps remaining, so that means we'll have to go until lap 37 or 36. I honestly feel like we'll have to pit at lap 36. I really don't know why, but that's how I feel. And I've gone around this track with tires being at like under 50%, and I didn't have any difficulty controlling the car. This was again during my live stream I did back in April, was it?
Clear high, you want it.
I feel like it's April, because I'm pretty sure I did this live stream before selling my Chevy and getting that Buick. But, yeah, either way, if you go to my NASCAR 25 stream, you'll see that I had my number 64 Camaro do, like, much of the race, and I only pitted for tires once. I came in for fuel on multiple occasions, but I only had to change my tires once, and it was, like, around 40%. The banking on these curves really help you turn, so that's why I was able to keep going despite the quality of my tires getting worse and worse and worse. And if I'm not mistaken, that was at like, I want to say 100%, but I honestly don't remember. I think it was a 50% race. That was around like 100 laps. So if I could survive racing around 100 laps, only changing my tires once, I know the car will be fine. I know the tires can last until the end of the race. Now, I also got a certain type of food stuck in my head. I was just watching a Nipion stream on Twitch a while ago, and she wants to make something called a spotted dick. And believe it or not, that is actually the name of the food. I don't get why the British thought of that idea, but they also have other odd names for types of food. Like they have something called faggots. There's also something called spam, and one of the most common dishes they have, I still find this odd, one of the most common dishes they have is fish and chips. But it's actually not chips, like the potato chip. That is the British name for fries.
We're out front, driver.
I don't know why French fries in the UK are referred to as chips, but I guess they hate the French, so more power to them.
High side down. Gear 3 wide.
I mean, historically, the British and French hated each other, but I feel like
3 wide.
things have gotten better over the years, especially when you look back at the World Wars and how they stood together to fight against Germany. That would also explain why they have a tunnel connecting the two countries. Well, the real name is the Channel, because it goes under the channel, and you have these high-speed trains that run out of the UK into France, or vice versa. Germany, if I'm not mistaken, wanted to do the same thing with another country up north. I think it was somewhere in the Scandinavian region. I don't remember if it was Denmark or Norway.
Halfway point right there. Outside down.
Oh, someone gave Logano a bump there.
We'll get the lead back. Stay focused. Outside.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Front, nice job.
I'm not really concerned about this. As long as you stay on the inside, you'll have a much easier time going around the curves. I mean, sure, the extra banking to the right might help you steer with more ease, but you spend more time because you're further away from like the center of the curve. When you're on the inside, you still go around quicker. I learned this when watching some old school footage from a track that no longer exists called the Dorney Park Raceway. Now, it was a much smaller track than Talladega. It was around the same size as the LA Coliseum, probably smaller even. But every driver knew when they were racing at the Dorney Park Speedway that they had to get on the inside if they wanted a chance of winning the race. Left front's down to 69, but like I said, I can survive if my tires get under 50. Oh, I could probably survive if they get under 40.
We'll get the lead back. Stay focused. Gear 3 wide.
I am staying focused. I have Brad helping me go past Cindric.
Clear outside.
And we're good. Oh, now the left rear is at 69%. I thought it would have been a little higher, like where the right rear is, being 77.
20 to go.
Now, when we refuel, we're going to have like 17 laps of fuel remaining, so if we can get to past like 32 or 33, we should have enough fuel to finish the race. But if I can try and run the tank as empty as possible, I should be good. Although, the way some of the drivers are, I did this in Daytona too, in episode 58. I ended up hitting sooner than I anticipated so that I would spend less time getting fuel into my car. I think I did the same thing in Atlanta too. But yeah, once I got that last place finish at Coda, things started to go downhill. There was a bit of a roller coaster between then and here, but this is where we get things back up and running.
High side down.
Bye, Byron.
Stay low. Outside now. We lost the lead. Let's get it back.
Uh-huh. Oh, thanks, Chase.
We got the lead.
I guess he doesn't want Byron
Clear
winning.
outside.
Chase is closing in again.
One
I think
outside.
Cindric's helping. Yeah, Cindric is helping him now. All right.
Outside now.
What do we got here?
Stay low.
Uh-oh, there's smoke. Someone hit the wall.
Caution's out.
Got another caution.
Pit road is open.
Huh, I could have sworn one of the cars that was up with us was Justin Allgaier, but I see now it's Ty Dillon. Everyone else seems to be pitting. Let me just
You wanna
double
make it
check and see. All right, I guess I'll take that. Once again, we don't need any tires, and I'm just going to slightly increase wedge.
10-4. All right. Get up on the wall and be ready. Coming to the green.
And there's Ty again.
Be ready.
If you squint your eyes and
Outside
get
now.
a further distance from his car, it's kind of easy to get it confused with Justin Allgaier's. Especially considering that they have like a similar base color of cream.
Stay low.
But Justin's car also uses more orange than Ty's.
Stay low.
I am staying low.
Stay low.
I am. Did you not hear me just now?
Stay low. Car high. We'll get the lead.
I mean, I know the
Stay low.
spotter can't hear me, but he has to understand that I am doing exactly as he instructed.
Out in front. Nice job. One up high.
Oh, thanks.
Clear outside.
I don't know when Priest joined Cup, but I remember before being for Store Haas or RFK, Priest drove the 37 for JTG Doherty. This was before the team was known as Hayek Motorsports.
3 wide.
Besides having the 47 car with Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Ryan Priest drove the 37. But for some reason, the team decided to sell its second charter, and that's why Ryan ended up going to Store Haas. I would like to see Hayek get a second car. I'd like to see them continue to be more successful. Perhaps they would be more successful if they changed the name. Well, you could say if they changed it back to JTG that it would be more successful, but the team would be more successful if they changed their name from Hayek to Hayek. I know I've said that a couple times in the past, but I love that joke. I never get tired of it. Alright, so we do have enough fuel to finish now. Oh, here comes Ty on the inside. He's got a better run than Byron, so
Outside.
I'm gonna close the door on him. Looks like Byron's getting pushed by Priest now.
We'll get the lead back. Stay focused.
Well, you can't always anticipate what your opponents do.
3 wide.
They were just waiting for Ty to get closer so that when I blocked them, they would get a better run.
Great job. You got the lead.
Oh,
Clear
thanks,
high
Ty.
if you want it.
Not what I expected from him, but I still send my gratitude to the 54. Once we get past that finish line, we'll have about 10 laps remaining. And now Kyle is helping Ty. That's also unexpected. I mean, considering how Ty Gibbs replaced Kyle Busch at JGR, the last thing you would expect was for him to help that guy.
Stay low.
But now that Kyle Busch is dead, I guess it doesn't really make much of a difference. Not that Joe Gibbs was predicting that. That actually would have been a bit ironic. Like if Ty goes to his grandfather who owns the team, he's like, Grandpa, Kyle Busch is dead. And that's why I asked you to replace him, Ty.
Stay low.
I doubt Michael Mooks would make a short like that, but I always like when he makes fun of Ty and Joe. His Joe Gibbs impression, while not exact, is still amusing to me.
Good to go now.
Joe's voice is way different from how Michael makes him sound, but I still love the way Michael does the voice.
Three wide.
Especially when it comes to Ty Gibbs. He's probably like my favorite driver. I like to see him voice. And the Grandpa, you didn't get me my sippy cup.
Out front, nice job. Clear high.
I do remember one short that Michael did, though, where after Ty Gibbs won his first race months ago, he had his voice change, and like Ty ends up coughing, then he's like, Grandfather, I think I finally hit puberty. I realize most of my viewers aren't NASCAR fans. I mean, they probably recognize me for all the railroad-related stuff I do, but if you people are watching this and you do like NASCAR, go check out Michael. He really does a lot of wonderful stuff. I know some people don't like shorts. I don't do many shorts myself, but those shorts are the main reason why I like Michael. Like, everything he does in there is just so funny. He's got like a lot of good videos with a lot of good skits, a lot of good live streams. You can typically catch him live on Monday or Thursday. There were a couple times in the past where he streamed a couple extra days, mostly Tuesdays, but Mondays and Thursdays are usually when he streams. His content's not all NASCAR related, but if you like racing, then I highly recommend you give him a try. Alright, there's nothing I can do to stop AJ or Tyler, so I'm just going to stay on the inside. Oh, my dogs are here. My mom took them to a park to have fun and play with other dogs.
One high.
But now I think it's time for them to just relax.
Clear up top. Outside. Clear high if you want it.
I'm not going high. Maybe on the backstretch I will, but with the way McDowell's closing in on me now, like the current position of his car, I am not going to put myself in a bad position where he can spin me out. In fact, with the way he and Bubba are, I think it's best if I just avoid the outside and try and stay down here. I can block both of them. So far, so good. Six laps remaining. Not every moment of this race has been spent in first place, but considering that I've been here most of the time, I think it's safe to say my Chevrolet will continue pushing me towards victory, even though we're physically not pushing anything. I love this camera angle. This is great. That is awesome. Maybe I'll do that for my thumbnail.
One up high.
Yeah. One up high. Soon
One
two
high.
up high. Wait, what happened to
Three
Bowman?
wide.
Yeah, we're 3 wide. That's what I thought.
Outside. We just lost the lead.
I'll tell you what, considering how bad it is outdoors
Still there.
with the heat
Clear outside.
and the humidity, I'm glad I am not outside. Alright, let's see now.
High side now.
Uh-oh, uh-oh.
Clear outside.
Four laps remaining. Soon to be 3.5 as we work our way back onto the backstretch. Man, there's a lot of cars falling behind back there.
One high. Stay low. All clear.
I gotta say, I'm getting a bit emotional right now. I know this is just a video game. I know I shouldn't be getting excited or anything, you know. I mean, a game's a game, but considering how poorly I've done at Coda and then more recently at Martinsville and Darlington. Darlington was really upsetting to me. Darlington was really upsetting to me because I usually do well on that track. I like racing at Darlington. But it's nice to get my 64 car back to victory lane. It really is. I mean, I know we still have a bit of ways to go. Anything can change. And I did get 3rd place at Bristol, so I guess I should be happy about that, but continuing my winning streak on Talladega really means a lot to me. It really does. Again, I know it's only a video game. I know I'm not getting paid $1 million in real life, but still. To finally get my team into a better financial position so that I can continue doing these good finishes and continuing to entertain you guys really means a lot to me. And someone spun out, so we won. That's that. Let's collect our reputation points, even though we already have max rep. Awesome job. Thank you, Daniel. Tech complete. Bodine is the winner of Talladega. When Sean Bodine keeps it clean, it's a real fun time of the track. Thank you, Carson. Was Talladega a good race? 95% of you said yes. Seems like anytime Sean Bodine wins, these polls get a boost. Yeah, you better believe it. Well, this win puts Bodine at number 16 of the Cup Series standings. Well, I mean, either way, I'm going to be in the top 16 because, I mean, I already won Daytona and Atlanta. But it still means a lot to get this win. It really does. Now, as mentioned previously in part 1, we are going to take a look at all the paint schemes I unlocked with my purchase of the October pack. So let's get out of career mode. hop into quick race. We're not actually going to do a race, but I think there's also some things I unlocked for Xfinity and the other divisions. It's not limited to just Cup. Allgaier, unfortunately, doesn't have anything because this was literally his one and only car he raced at the 2025 Daytona 500, and that was that. Allmendinger, on the other hand, he's got leaf filter. Very nice. Now that I think about it, I might have seen this once before, but I honestly don't remember. I did see the leaf filter logo on Ty Dillon's car. Christopher Bell already had a second scheme, but there's a third one here, and that is the interstate batteries. I don't know what it is, but I love interstate batteries. This is what got me hooked on Bobby Labonte when he raced for Joe Gibbs Racing. Of course, he had the number 18, not the 20. The 20 was driven by Tony Stewart. I liked seeing him when he was sponsored by Home Depot, but to have the interstate batteries on the number 20 car for a change, I think that's a pretty good call. And then there's that. Barry doesn't have anything. Balicki doesn't have anything, except for an itsy-bitsy, teeny-weeny yellow polka dot bikini. I think Blaney already had this to begin with. Bowman? Oh, I like that. That's great. Look at all the little doggies. I got to race this car one day. Briscoe. Ah, nice. Spring sale. Busher. Not bad. Ah, there we go. There's the Lucas paint scheme I was talking about. Glad to finally see that. Byron, I know he already had one, but this was his extra scheme. This was the one we already had before buying the October pack. Hello, Castro Neves, once again, doesn't have any other schemes. Ah, this was a good one, too. I remember seeing this. That's one of the reasons I got the pack to begin with. Freightliner, I like this, too. Cold custard. And it's funny, because there's a custard right there. It's nice to see a different scheme on Austin's car for a change, too. I mean, this is all right, but I've always preferred this better. That we already saw. This is nice, too. Grillo's Pickles and Sonic. Nice. Wow. I guess a lot of people are being sponsored by Grillo's Pickles. Except for Noah. He probably didn't want it anyway. Oh, that's nice. There seems to be a lot of trucking companies these days that are sponsoring NASCAR. First, we saw Sala Freight for Ty. Freightliner is a truck company, but I guess that also counts too. This isn't bad either. I saw the Bob's discount at the last minute on Denny's car. We saw this at Bristol. I really like how it might be simple, but I still like the colors they chose and how everything else looks. Johnson Bar, nothing. Eric Jones, nothing. I'm a bit surprised. This ain't bad at all. I'm a bit surprised that Corey LaJoy has another sponsor. And he has Celsius just like, what was it? Kaulig. I'm kind of surprised that Kaulig and Rick Ware are sharing sponsors, especially considering that they have separate manufacturers. Now, Larson had 4. 2 of these were free after the end of the 2025 season. This is one of them. And this is also one of them. This, on the other hand, is not one of them. This is part of the DLC. And here's the other one. We saw this earlier in my live stream on Twitch. We haven't seen that one yet. That looks pretty cool. Pie Barker. I keep seeing a place that they have near my home. The blue and green looks really nice on the 42 as well. This we saw earlier. I'm really surprised Redneck doesn't have an extra scheme. Title Max. Not bad. Not bad at all. Once again, there's Hiya! Fun Pops. I remember Ricky had that livery or sponsor when he raced in Mexico. Speaking of Mexico, here is Daniel Suarez with Frosty. The Wendy's Frosty. You might have seen Daniel actually is from Mexico. He's the only Mexican driver in NASCAR right now, at least for Cup. This I was hesitant about because I do not like Red Bull. I know it's a popular drink, but it's just not for me. I never was the biggest energy drink fan to begin with. Oh, Cody Ware himself? Oh yeah, Evil Knievel, cool. And then there's the guy that doesn't even deserve to be here. I think he retired though, so all's well. I mean, you see himself, he has no wins, and he never will, because he sucks. And that's that. Like I said, there are more schemes that you get with the October pack that go to Xfinity, Truck, and ARCA, but I'm not going to show you those because you guys are probably bored and you want this video to end, so let me end the video. I will, however, have another episode for you in the future, so thank you for watching. I will see you next time.